Famous Mellow Hope, you know what I'm saying? Gonna get some vibes going, you know what I'm saying? This is to my man, DoelowdaPilotman, Beauty Pad, bitch. It's what we all, you know what I'm saying, striving to all get collectively on the, you know what I'm saying, beauty path and shit of that nature. So everybody that, you know what I'm saying, wanna elevate in life, wanna strive to walk that path to, you know what I'm saying, beauty and shit of that nature. I'm saying we're just gonna rock out, and let the vibes fall in, catch the vibe, yeah. Turn that bitch up. Disappear into the atmosphere, I'm becoming the wind. Putting on the sheet of bed, I'm the one that's stuck in the man. Whoever on the opposite side, we ain't fucking with them. I'm telling y'all, you a friend before. You always acting like an animal. You turned into a cannibal. Every sick, I got the antidote. Just feel like I ain't don't wanna be planning on. Your discrepancies are backfired. Trust me, homeboy, it ain't gonna get you nowhere like a flat tire. It don't matter if you in a Jeep Cherokee or a Pathfinder. You could be talking to a nobody, you ain't know they had wires. Getting all the information from past pride, how you was conducting a man. How you gon' keep on taking, and you ain't got nothing to hand. And now I'm an Indian giver. We're in the middle of winter. Spring, summer, fall time, girl, can you go and just fix me a dinner? Right in the bed, you're offended, get pent up. I be making you happy when you be mad. This is not Alice in Wonderland, but I just wanna take you on a beauty path. Yeah, I'm taking a beauty path. You just gotta try to do the math. I know you was doing bad. Tell me what I gotta do to that. Taking every color of the rainbow, there are mixing Houston when I do it bad. I will never take another direction, little engine, not gonna lose my track. Girl, can you see I ain't playing around with you? Know I be wanting that kitty cat. Can we just go on a coffee date, baby, and party train, hoping you cool with that? I just know that you would do that, the crib, you wanna know when you be back. Yeah, I just got you a place you can come and escape, just no need to get too attached. Yeah, when I be going through the worst, I'm trying to do better again. And I ain't talking about the sky when I'm in a heavenly band. I'm alive on earth, still can see me dead in the wind. Cause there's a lot of shit I've seen and heard, I would never defend. White boss, no one better than hell. I'm on the right path. Can you show me where you like that? I might turn around and rent a flight back. Yeah, don't care about all of your frontin', you doing who you in the line with. Your mental not the only thing sick, man, you may need some vitamins. Bitch, for real, niggas need vitamins, for real, need some hydration in that bitch. You get hydrated. Bubbles, look at that. Like Dolo said. Fuck nigga talking about for real. Yeah, I be circling out the magic square, Parliament hurting the block. Back up on the right path, as I watch it, you're turning the clock. Yeah, I'm taking a beauty pad, you just gotta try to do the math. I know you was doing bad, tell me what I gotta do to laugh. Taking every color out the rainbow, different mixing Houston when I do it bad. I will never take another direction, little engine, not gonna make my track. Girl, can you see I ain't playing around with you, know I be wanting that kitty cat. Can we just go on a coffee date, baby, and party train, hoping you cool with that? I just know that you would do that, the crib, you wanna know when you be back. I just got you a place you can come in the skate, just don't need to get you attached, yeah. Yeah, just don't let that bitch ride up. Hey, stop playing with them. You know what I'm saying? So, consciously right now, we putting our awareness in practicality and structuring and, you know what I'm saying, being mutable, modal, and adaptable, changeable, and all those types of things to our routines, health patterns, and, you know what I'm saying, regimens as far as what, you know what I'm saying, we are developing as a foundation for our dreams to be expressed in a, you know what I'm saying, one-on-one type direct way for us to be able to expand on, you know, what really we trying to stabilize, you know what I'm saying, trying to feel comfortable and trying to feel safe and secure with
how the fuck we, you know what I'm saying, see our destiny and things of that nature, and how the fuck we correlating those dreams and faith, belief, imagination, delusions and things of that nature with reality of us being going on that beauty path, going on that, you know what I'm saying, routine health pattern and regimen of us having to develop a practical, you know what I'm saying, mutable, modal, and adaptable way of going about those things and things of that nature. So for us to be able to have our own, you know what I'm saying, construct our own development of the way we mentally initiate and go about these dreams, faith, belief, imaginations that we trying to, you know what I'm saying, collectively all have a routine and pattern of being able to, you know what I'm saying, have a routine and pattern of us for us to be able to walk a path of us seeing a confident way of us to be able to, you know what I'm saying, work and you know what I'm saying, have the work that we put into to play for those dreams, faith, belief, imagination be a real, you know what I'm saying, beautiful thing for us to be able to bear and things of that nature. So we are the ones, you know what I'm saying, we in, you know, sun and bear right now and moon and raven, being subconsciously with the moon being a raven, we're the ones that's, you know what I'm saying, taking the sun being a bear, what we expressing as far as having to hold that path and that, you know what I'm saying, that routine pattern and work health routine pattern of what we our dreams is trying to, you know what I'm saying, be going seeing on that beautiful path of us to be motherfucking express our dreams collectively so that we can, you know what I'm saying, what we taking action on is pretty much putting in routine and patterns to see that happen. So subconsciously, you know what I'm saying, what we are receiving, what we constructing as far as emotional connection, thing of that nature is dealing with our relationships in that. So in our personal way of going about mentally constructing that, conversations and initiating, you know what I'm saying, mentalities as far as when we in our relationships dealing with these things and shit of that nature. So directly is correlating to 12th house, second house placement from us having a spiritual transformation of what we are bearing and things of that nature, to what we are practically being able to see that we are walking on the path of being able to mutably, modably adapt to how we construct the, you know what I'm saying, routine, health, pattern and work regimen and things of that nature. So we basically are being able to go on that path of having to create an emotion with our walking with our personal interpersonal connections and things of that nature with that right now, dealing with, you know what I'm saying, especially since 7th house of Virgo is Pisces and things of that nature. That's what, you know what I'm saying, the theme of this year is in general, kind of being that we, you know what I'm saying, are transforming as far as how we being seen with the work health routine patterns and shit right now. So spiritually, you know what I'm saying, it's like for Libra, 12th house is its dreams. It's to be foundated in practically you know what I'm saying, mutably, being mutable, moldable, and adaptable to their own dreams, faith, belief, imagination, delusion, things of that nature. So with second house Virgo being Libra, shit like that, Libra, Virgo is wanting Libra to be the foundation of what's supposed to be the confidence of the self-esteem of, you know what I'm saying, that routine health pattern and things of that nature, with the relationships being communicating and being initiating the communications and shit like that. That's what Taurus, or my bad, Virgo values in nature. So values and has a gift and talent to have that one-on-one relationship when it comes to interpersonal connections and things of that nature, dealing with their own personal relationships and shit of that nature. So they are basically, you know what I'm saying, vibrationally transforming in a way of, you know what I'm saying, not just there, but, you know what I'm saying, us all as a collective, since this is what we're consciously aware of collectively right now, as well as personally. So I'm saying, reacting and responding to our relationships, ways of relating, and you know what I'm saying, the ways that we go about communicating or initiating our own you know what I'm saying, our own relationships and our own mentality when it comes to how we communicate and how we see the relationship that is being secure, safe, and founded as far as a value, gift, and talent and shit of that nature. So we, you know what I'm saying, are reacting and responding to that, pretty much building on a emotional connection with that. You see what I'm saying? So things of that nature. That's how we Libra, you know what I'm saying, is being able to see the beauty path be walked by. Virgo being consciously, you know what I'm saying, right now where we bearing, you know what I'm saying, sun being in Bear, being consciously aware of how that's being seen, as far as all the things that Virgo have gathered, you know what I'm saying, all the analytics and being analyzing, and, you know what I'm saying, communication with practicality and direct routine health patterns of how it's being spiritually transformed, is what Libra is helping, you know what I'm saying, see that beauty path of Virgo, to be able to be safe, feel safe, secure, and directly, you know what I'm saying, transformed vibrationally through their interpersonal, one-on-one connections and relationships, dealing with how they initiate and communicate, initiate and, you know what I'm saying, form their own, their, not just their own mind, but their own relationship with how they communicate, and, you know what I'm saying, communicate, have balance and fairness with non-judgmental type energies, because it's more dealing with how it could be mutable to a feeling of the vibration transforming in a way of, you know what I'm saying, the self-esteem having be built upon them initiating and shit of that nature, the mentality of where the relationship should go with that beauty path and things of that nature, them having to, you know what I'm saying, initiate and create the mentality of where the security and the vibration of transformation really gonna come to be in a gift and a talent, and be developed to be in a, you know what I'm saying, self-sustainable, more, you know what I'm saying, self-sustainable, how I see Taurus energy, and more, you know what I'm saying, founded as far as when it comes to a practical approach to having a value with the relationships and shit of that nature. So, you know what I'm saying, that's pretty much how I see us reacting, responding to to with also Libra being conjunct Mars right now, us having to really be connected with how we are, passionately motivated to conduct that relationship and things of that nature. So us really having to put in motivation and passion and desire what we want in that relationship to be put into a direct way of us feeling self-sustainable in there and feeling, feeling secure and comfortable, self-esteem, having self-esteem, healthy foundation of us building on a value, gift, and talent to be able to be passionately motivated and directly, from, with the work, health, and routine pattern that, since Virgo's second house is Libra, that we want to feel that we're able to bear that, work, health, routine pattern and ability to be able to transform vibrationally in that way. So, with that opposing Aries and shit of that nature, and Saturn right now, and Neptune and Chiron, pretty much, it's having to balance out the power between those two of us wanting to, bear that beauty path of us having a transformation of our vibration spiritually from how we, how our relationships and relations and relatability energy is seen through a work, health, routine pattern of us being able to reach our goals, not just goals, but, dreams, faith, belief, imagination. The destiny of that is, it's going to lead us into, I should say, that's what's helping lead us into doing that spiritual transformation better, from Libra being opposite, Aries and Neptune, Chiron, and Saturn directly, where they're both falling in where they're home at. Usually Aries is home in Mars, Libra's home at Saturn. They're both falling right now because they're in their opposite energies home planet. So it's like a way of saying that we trying to put more energy into, the balance and the power of the motherfucking relationships and putting motivation and passion into that, and being safe, secure, stable with that to have a routine pattern to be able to, initiate and create our initiate and create our own, communication and conversations when it comes to how we want to mutually be able to have a value, gift, and talent with our relationships and shit like that, and our relatability energy within ourselves as well. So it's like us having to battle with that personal issue and shit as well, with how we building on our own self and nature of what we personally are interested into and a value, and how we are healing from that, transforming pain and suffering to be able to, see a healing beauty path of us walking and develop in a way to, transform that energy to our dreams, faith, belief, imagination as well, being personal value and initiating, creating an instance of interest that we have with that is dealing with how the fuck we want to actually, be seen as our personality and shit. Is a battle between how our relationships, relatability, energy right now is being reacting, responding for us to, in the moon and Mars right now, directly connecting to how we building on our self esteem and shit, our self security and stability, and self-sustainability and things of that nature, to be able to have a healthy self-esteem with the routine pattern and shit of that nature that we want to um, initiate and create in our relationships, and our mentality with our initiating our mentality with the relatability energy in our relationships. You know what I'm saying? It's what's having to be balanced out, you know what I'm saying, as well as how we see it. You know what I'm saying? Our dreams, faith, belief, imagination from 12th house, Libra being in Virgo, how we bearing that first, you know what I'm saying, that ability to be able to have faith, belief, dream, imagination within our routine health patterns, and you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. Being mutable, moldable, and adaptable, to be able to have a dream, faith, belief, and imagination with the routine and health, you know what I'm saying, pattern of us being able to be practically foundating that and building upon that every day, you know what I'm saying? So that's and while the moon is in Libra, it's helping us see how we can really help us see how we can you know what I'm saying, plus from when the moon was in Leo, it was a new moon, so that's where we initiated, and you know what I'm saying, those seeds of us spiritually already transforming from the eclipse and shit like that. So now we're here in the motion of where Virgo wants to see us be able to put in not so much of the stress energy and the most, you know what I'm saying, bearing the most stress and shit like that, but like bearing the most, you know what I'm saying, beauty and shit when it comes to how we are having a routine and pattern, and you know what I'm saying, natures of our health is being correlated for us to be able to see our dreams be, you know, producing in a good fruit and things of that nature, how we bearing, you know what I'm saying. So I just, you know what I'm saying, kind of shaking it up today, making it a little different. Don't want to just really just break down every aspect and things of that nature, just trying to, you know what I'm saying, plus talk about what we kind of going into, you know what I'm saying, how this transit is kind of helping us see what's the you know what I'm saying, what's the worry about, what's the energy in the air about right now, dealing with how the fuck we are going into this new world and things of that nature that we coming into next year, how this is helping us see that our work health routine patterns, and right now what we developing with that, and the spirits that's being, you know what I'm saying, brought here and things of that nature, for us to all come together to see a new way of us having, or you know what I'm saying, not just see a new way, but to take action on a, you know what I'm saying, a better way of bearing the energy of us having to walk a healthy routine pattern in our work life, you know what I'm saying, in our work balance with our work health routines to our dreams, faith, belief, imaginations, and what we want to you know what I'm saying, see be changeable and be able to be adaptable and moldable to what we want to, you know, see our destiny go to. So that's basically how the fuck this transit right now, you know what I'm saying, with 12th house, second house, us wanting to be, you know what I'm saying, on that beauty path of us having to have a self-esteem in our relationships and the way we relate and shit of that nature, and initiate a mentality with our relationships, is wanting us to see that now, from now on to, you know what I'm saying, Aries season, to when the next major kickoff of us going into, you know what I'm saying, a new energy and a new world, things of that nature. This energy from how Virgo, you know what I'm saying, just came in the new moon from Leo into Virgo into Libra now. It's showing us that we have to develop a new way of, you know what I'm saying, going about stability, security, and safety when it comes to us initiating, creating relationships and shit like that, and in the way of foundating the self-sustainability of our self-esteem in them, with how we have a work health routine pattern with our spiritual transformations and things of that nature from our relationships and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying, that's pretty much showing us the spiritual / vibrational transformation we going into, the new moons being pretty much in that way of us correlating our destiny and our path to what we're being consciously aware of and shit of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Correlating from what we're being subconsciously aware of in that nature to being to what we're being consciously aware of, you know what I'm saying? So to where we're planting new seeds and shit of that nature, we're planting seeds in and planting a garden to see grow a new ability of our spiritual transformations come from what internally we're building emotional connections with and things of that nature, is what this kind of sparked off and shit going into the new year and shit of that nature. So this, we just now halfway through the year, you know what I'm saying? We made it halfway through the year now, baby, you know what I'm saying? So it's helping us really just build upon our, you know, harvesting our foundations and harvesting our ability to build into a new world in general of where we want to see our relationships be based off of healthy self-esteem and shit of that nature. So, and spiritually being transforming our own health routine patterns, you know what I'm saying, of how we want to be comfortable, safe, and secure within those things, and how we want to balance out being able to pour that into our dreams, faith, belief, imagination, delusions, and shit of that nature. So pretty much bearing the self-sustainability of this transit was making us see that we bearing the self-sustainability of having to react and respond and create an emotional connection with our relationships, the way that we relate about going you know what I'm saying, going on relatability energy with how we produce our mentality in our relationships and shit of that nature to a way of what, you know what I'm saying, we want to see our work health routine patterns be able to be played out in a way of practically, you know what I'm saying, in our relationships and the way we think, communicate, and analyze our own work health routine patterns, be able to integrate that and play that into how we are comfortable, safe, secure, and feel you know what I'm saying, take actions and take and be seen in that light of the ability to directly set, you know what I'm saying, feel the self-esteem and the practicality of the relationship be, you know what I'm saying, put into emotional connection of us actually being emotionally connected to it, like I said. So of the conscious awareness of putting into action in that spiritual transformation from the what we subconsciously creating from that emotion and shit, with Libra being in the moon, you know what I'm saying, us having to bear that ability to be able to, you know what I'm saying, extend a give value or talent to our relationships more than, you know what I'm saying, put in work health routine patterns to extend that and be able to have where the value of what we building on right now and and talent of the spiritual transformation and shit of that nature be played back out through a self-sustainable relationship. So you don't need nothing outside of those relationships. You don't need nothing, you know what I'm saying? Nobody else relationship has going on. You one-on-one interpersonal connection with y'all relationships is happening to be built on right now in this transit with how you feel self-sustainable, you feel self-secure, fixated and how you feel fixated and sustainable to your values, gifts, and talents within how you mentally connect your mentality to your relationships and shit of that nature with your work health routine patterns, being able to conduct that practically and shit of that nature for you to, be initiating that conversations, those mentalities and shit of that nature with how you build on your relationship. And in the first place, and specifically the emotional connection and the passion, motivation, and desire that you're trying to fulfill and shit of that nature with that work health routine pattern being the theme, or the, you know what I'm saying, the coming from a first house placement to the second house of Virgo being Libra and shit of that nature. So, but we pretty much we're all, even though Virgo risings is going through this energy directly, we're all going through it as a collective as well, because that's how the, you know what I'm saying, the cards fall in the first place. In general, that's how the chart flows from each house placement and shit of that nature. So we're all getting affected by this, you know what I'm saying, aspectual astrology, shit of that nature. Right, so like I said, with that's pretty much the main theme. I do want to talk about how, Venus conjunct Mercury right now, opposing Pluto, is showing us that our love and appreciation, the value, and the way that we communicate, think, and go about analyzing our fixated way that we sustain and fixate our creativity and childlike, you know what I'm saying, feeling of being able to create and being able to have fun, entertain ourselves, and enjoy just our self-expression in general of creativity and shit of that nature is, and like having love, value, and appreciation for that, and us having, you know what I'm saying, thinking, communicating, and analyzing all those things is pretty much being in the way of us having to be balanced with how we're transforming, taking power control over, the way we're fixating, sustaining our peers and associations, and the public in general. Us having to balance out the power of the relationships, our relations, the way we go about relatability energy with initiating those mentalities within the love, value, and appreciation, and the communication and analyzation of the, you know what I'm saying, the power of the relationships and shit of that nature that we can have with how we're showing love, value, and appreciation to each other's, you know what I'm saying, mutually being balancing that power in each other's way of being able to, the way that we're being able to transform and take power and control over what our peers and things of nature, or our associates in the public, and how we're being seen is the way, you know what I'm saying, how we're being, you know what I'm saying, giving love, value, and appreciation to those things is in a way of our self-creations, our self-expression of being able to be creative and show that we are, still have that childlike ability to be able to think, communicate, and analyze on those things of creativity and entertaining uh how the fuck we can fixate and sustain a fire in those, you know what I'm saying, relationships with how the fuck we are coming off and being seen to what we're building on personally, from, you know, how we see us transforming into individually, being unique individuals, but within, you know what I'm saying, how we transforming our own value, love, gift, talent to be able to, you know what I'm saying, have fun, entertain ourselves, and self-express ourselves amongst, you know what I'm saying, our social groups and shit of that nature. And so that's kind of the dynamic of us having to be, you know what I'm saying, in the presence of us being on a stage of, you know what I'm saying, wanting to be seen and be in the light of where we're giving and showing our love, value, and appreciation in our relationships to be more fun, light, and to be more, you know what I'm saying, self-expressionatory of a creative, you know what I'm saying, image of the way that we transforming, taking power and control over our peers and our society, as far as the public and associations and associates and shit of that nature. How also as well thinking, communicating, and analyzing about a lot about how we would like to have, you know what I'm saying, do or fixate and sustain the ability to create, have that self-sustainability to create our own entertainment and childlike expressions of just self-expression of, you know, the fun, lighthearted communication that we can have in our relationships, in the way that we initiate and create those relationships, relatability energies, and shit of that nature, and mentalities that we can go about being able to conduct the power and control that we're trying to, you know what I'm saying, or not initiate, but we're trying to fixate and sustain within our associates in the public and things of that nature. So, you know what I'm saying, that's pretty much how that's gonna rock out and shit of that nature. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, we coming into, you know what I'm saying, we just entered into, Venus, like I said, with Leo being entering into Venus, we having where we're fixating, sustaining, and trying to put on stage right now, as far as what we was thinking, communicating, analyzing about, with that retrograde going back from in Leo into directly going forward and shit of that nature, us having to rethink and reanalyze and, you know what I'm saying, reevaluate how we communicate the things and things that we are fixating, sustaining, as far as creative endeavors, or, you know what I'm saying, self-expressionatory energies and things of that nature, is being helped along by Venus now, directly pushing that sentiment of us having to show love, value, and appreciation for those things, creativity, expressionatory energies when it comes to the ability for us to be able to relate and initiate and create relationships with, showing love, value, and appreciation to each other's creativity, energy, and, you know what I'm saying, childlike, fun, lighthearted, expressionatory energies of us wanting to be, you know, create our own entertainment, with our associates in the public, create our own, you know what I'm saying, self-sustainable way of having our presence of on stage, or where we put the fire and put the spotlight on, be able to be a shared value of, you know, initiating, creating that relationship around how we are taking power and control, you know what I'm saying, opposing, or not just taking power and control, but how we are initiating that, self-sustainability with how we are being, taking power control. Yeah, I guess you could say taking power control, because 7th house from Leo is Aquarius, taking power control over, initiating, creating our own relationships when it comes to how we are sustaining and fixating a unique and individualistic way of going about that power control and shit of that nature. Having fun with that, showing love, value, and appreciation to how each other we all do that and things of that nature. So, helping along with how we was rethinking, you know what I'm saying, how we can do this and how we can be able to, fixate and sustain actually the creativity and self-expressionatory energy that we have within ourselves to be able to be relatable, or not just be relatable, but you know what I'm saying, initiate, create our relationships around of us fixating and sustaining our own personal, I should say personal, but I should say our own, you know what I'm saying, fire, internal fire, when as it comes to how we like to be seen and shit, and how we like to have fun. So pretty much is what Venus and Leo is helping us see, gathering us together to see, conjuncting that power of influence, to see the ability that we have to initiate and create a, relationship, a relatability energy within that community. That's you know what I'm saying, thoughts and mentalities that we were built in upon, how we can fixate, sustain more creatively our presence, passion of us being able to be in the spotlight and shit of that nature. Is what we're giving love, value, and appreciation, relatability energy to our, you know what I'm saying, on one-on-one personal relationships with how the fuck we are being able to be seen, individual, unique, you know what I'm saying, and fixating, sustaining a transformation of power control that we are directing within our peers, associations, associates, in the public. So that's kind of how that dynamic is playing out. You feel me? And that's pretty much the main shit I wanted to talk about too. Like, what's having to us be a balance of power, right? What's having to us help us be in balance of for our power right now is pretty much mainly that. And Virgo, like I said, South Node, Sun conjuncting what we're taking action on, seeing different viewpoints of feeling safe, secure, and comfortable within is those things of work, health, routine patterns, and having the ability to be mutable, moldable, and adaptable within those things to, you know what I'm saying, be able to initiate and create our own personal one-on-one personal relationships within our dreams, faith, belief, imagination, delusion, seeing the destiny of that, going on a spiritual path of us interconnecting our mentalities of the work, health, routine patterns that we are building upon to be able to direct that desire towards the destiny and path of our dreams, faith, belief, imagination, delusion, collectively, and shit of that nature. So that's that balance of power, as well as Aries, Chiron, Neptune, and Saturn, what we're building upon, having to not interpersonally, but personally having to build upon that interest, value, and shit of that nature that we initiate and create that we are emanating, you know what I'm saying, that we emanate and have a power of influence over in general. Our dream, faith, belief, and imagination, delusion that we're personally interested in and personally our personal issues, when it comes to our personal affairs, when it comes to how we are having to transform pain, suffering into healing and growth and shit of that nature. It's showing us that the first house, seventh house first house, seventh house correlation of balance of power in general and shit of that nature is us having us personally interested in building our own and developing our own personality when it comes to how we initiate and create and have a power of influence in reality of what we are sustaining, you know what I'm saying, as far as on earth and in reality, and having us see what we initiate and creating for our dreams, faith, belief, and imagination to build upon those things in reality. Personally, what we interested in, helping us be able to, it's also helping us be able to transform that healing and that pain and suffering into healing and growth. You know what I'm saying? By Moon being conjunct Mars right now in Libra, that's showing us that, us having an emotional or creating an emotional connection with our personal relationships, interpersonal relationships, and how we have one-on-one dynamic between what we giving passion, motivation, and desires to as well within those relationships, showing us how we really are being, how we really are emotionally connecting to these things in general. So the balance of power in general between all the aspects and shit of that nature just pretty much, I feel like, puts into, because this is like, all the aspects, all the balance of power is just first house, seventh house, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much Aries, Libra is like, I see them as like kind of the foundation of how each energy and each, season is being kind of balanced and kind of being put its power into the whole year in general. How each season puts its power into the whole year is balancing out the power of the opposite season. So this is how, pretty much we get an emotional connection right now is through being able to personally create our, a one-on-one relationship with our relationships and with our create a one-on-one mentality and initiate and create a way that we communicate in our relationships and relations and shit of that nature, from how we personally develop our interest and personally go about developing the building on harsh reality of building on those personal interests, the dream, faith, belief, imagination of our personal interests, and transformation of the pain and suffering from healing and growth state in our relationships, being able to see us be communication, be able to have communication and be mutually initiating, create our emotions and our emotional connection within those relationships, and how we are putting into play the passion, motivation, and desires into them. That's right now, how we're being able to balance the power of pretty much initiating, creating our energy in general. So, throughout the whole season. So this is helping us see right now the work it's gonna take to be able to even feel self-sustainable within ourselves and fixate sustainable within our give value and talent within, you know what I'm saying, our passion, motivation, desires, and the way we're emotionally connecting right now is through work health routine patterns. The way we're emotionally connecting with our personal one-on-one and interpersonal connections and relationships and relations is us having to have sustainability and self-esteem and a fixated way of sustaining a gift, value, and talent is how us being mutable, moldable, and adaptable, initiating, creating, or not initiating, creating, but being mutable, moldable, and adaptable to what we are giving work, you know what I'm saying, giving our work health routine energy to is in our relationships in that nature. Give value and talent is in our relationships, from what we put in our work health routine into, and passion and motivation and desires is what we having to have, you know what I'm saying, a give value and talent in right now, from what we put in our work health routine pattern energy into, from how we're being mutable, moldable, and adaptable to a work health routine pattern to change, or, you know what I'm saying, and initiate, not just change, but initiate and create that relationship with that self-sustainability energy of us having a, you know what I'm saying, a healthy self-esteem within the way we have a give value and talent in our relationship, or, you know, change the routine pattern and health regimen of us having that routine, or change that routine health pattern and regimen of us developing that self-sustainability within those relationships and shit like that. That's helping us go into and see how, when we're going into this new world, you know what I'm saying, this new generation and things of that nature, I should say, was coming into Aries and everything being direct and shit in Saturn, and Uranus being in Gemini, Pluto being in Aquarius and shit. It's gonna be the new generation, you know what I'm saying, start of a new generation basically. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we how we seeing us go on a beauty path and shit of that nature of us, is of our health routine patterns and work regimens and things of that nature, to initiate and create that development of where we want to see our dreams and imagination, faith, belief, and things of that nature be put into an aspect of us being able to be relatable with that and develop personal, interpersonal, one-on-one connections or relationships with how we can initiate our mentality and the way we communicate and think within our relationships and shit of that nature. So, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how we rocking out, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, y'all seeing this, you know what I'm saying, you want to pretty much just be able to be emotionally connected to the way you're passionately motivated to and have desires within your relationships, relatability energies and things of that nature. Have that be your give value and talent, from what you are, how you're putting in and transforming the work health routine patterns and shit of that nature. Like I said, we're going through the spiritual transformation and vibration of a transformation from that spiritual transformation now. So this is kind of the vibrational transformation that we're having to go through with our personal one-on-one connections and relationships and shit of that nature, through how we have a work health routine pattern and shit of that nature. So yeah, pretty much directly to me correlating to how this 6th house, 12th house theme this year so far, from the North Node being in Pisces, South Node being in Virgo and shit of that nature, is helping us to go into this new generation and this new world, to see how all the work and all the routine health regimen and mutable, modal, and adaptable energy that we're putting into be able to be relatable and initiate and create our interpersonal connections and shit of that nature with our dream and you know what I'm saying, with our dreams, faith, belief, imagination, delusion, as well as having our what we want to initiate and create in our dreams, faith, belief, imagination, delusions, having to be connected with how we're relatable with how our own personal, our own, you know what I'm saying, interpersonal connections with our relationships is being able to be initiated and created with how we're mutable, moldable, and adaptable with our work health routine pattern and shit of that nature. That's helping us see that that's what it takes to be able to have something new, be able to have something come into a new generation of us personally being able to be self-sustainable and shit of that nature, you know what I'm saying? So, personally, you know what I'm saying, we, our one-on-one connections and relationships is what we react and responding to right now. What we, building on our motivation, passion, and desire to be able to see energy flow out and be played out there. And so that's pretty much the name of the game right now, you know what I'm saying? Just being able to work out a way of the way that we are having our dreams be correlated from the way that we put in work and shit of that nature. Help us to see the way that we have to be. In that way, we have to be self-sustainable with our relationships. Second house, Virgo, Libra. You know what I'm saying? The way we have a work health routine pattern with them to, you know what I'm saying? So we could personally be able to see that foundation, be able to be not so like, you know, harsh and non-relatable and actually reality being built on from, you know, not so much of a fallen, you know, like I said, with Aries being in Saturn, Libra being in Mars and shit, not so much being fallen from each other, but being able to have, you know, the relatability of balance from each other to see how each energy plays out to personally to building on a reality, a harsh reality or something, to be able to interconnectedly, mutually have a balance of power in how we share passion, motivation, and desires within our relationships, relatability, energy, and the ways we can interconnect and go about initiating, creating relationships, as well as creating emotional connection with that right now. You know what I'm saying? Helping us go into this this new generation and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all stay spiritually protected. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, love y'all, man. Thanks, my love.